What's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode 18 of my Blackburn Rovers career mode. For you guys that didn't watch the last episode, I put in a job offer to move to Derby County and it was accepted. Now, one of the reasons I did that was because, as you can see, Derby are 10th in the table, whereas Blackburn are 20th, so they're 10 league positions above us, or above Blackburn, where I was, and they're very close to the playoffs. And, well, that's the second reason, they're very close to the playoffs. The third reason is they have a very, very good squad. They have a good squad of players, which I think it would be a disappointment if I didn't manage to reach top 6, maybe even top 2, but we are about halfway through the season. One of the final reasons, last but not least, is they were taken over by somebody. They were taken over, or the game said they were taken over by, I will show you guys now. Where is it? There it is. They were taken over by somebody whose plans to make them as rich as, or plans to make them as big as Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Man United. That's what the article says. I thought, that might be a time where I could jump onto that, and they might want me, young, charismatic manager. But this episode is all about the transfer targets who I want, and I do want you guys to also leave any additional players you think would help this team get better. Now, Iorfa has moved to Bolton, and he has just moved, but I'm thinking we can maybe get him in. If not, we've got Sissoko, who's a very, very young right back from France, quality player, got very, very high potential. Liam Moore and Mutaz. I'm not going to try and pronounce that second name because I'll just butcher it, and I don't want to do that. These are two young centre-backs. We do have a lot of older centre-backs like Richie Keogh and Shackle and Kilgallen, who I think, in a couple of years, if we get to the Premier League, might not be able to keep up with the Premier League standards. So I'm hoping to bring these two in, or one of these two in, and then they can be like a protege type player to Shackle, Keogh and Kilgallen. They can be like second string centre back, playing a few games every now and then hopefully getting into the first team next season. The CDMs I have are Sergei Sampic, Stark, Osduz and Will Trapp. Now these four are very young, but really good passes of the ball. All good passes of the ball. That's what I'm looking for in that CDM. I want a player that can play passes forward, backwards, sideways, long balls, short balls, whatever I need. I need him to play every type of pass, and these four are the players that I think can do that for us. So I'm also looking at Leon Bailey. He was someone that I was watching a video on YouTube, saw somebody looking at him. Absolute fantastic player, absolutely rapid, becomes even faster with years to come, and he's only 18 years old, which is absolutely fantastic. We also have Bruno and Redmond and Sisto. Now Sisto has just joined Real Madrid, but in real life this could be a weird transfer if Sisto was ever to go to Real Madrid, or any youngster from Real Madrid might go on loan to Derby with Paul Clement being at Derby, and he does have a connection with Real Madrid, being the assistant manager there when Ancelotti was there, so that might sway them to put Real Madrid youngsters to Derby to get the first team experience. We also have Zardes, who's got his contract up at the end of the season, so I was thinking maybe put an offer in for him. If he doesn't accept it, no worries, we've got other players we can look at. Grealish is an up-and-coming winger from Villa, can play down the middle and out on the left. He's one that would come in and he might be back up depending on how Vyman plays, if I was to bring in one of these left wingers I'm looking at as well. The other players I'm looking at for the left hand side are Ibe and Lingard. It might be harder to get Lingard and Ibe in than it would be to get Grealish in, because Lingard's probably a future first team player, a sporadic first team player on this, but he is a part of the Man United squad in real life. So as you can see, the strikers we're looking at is Musa, Kunate, Moses Simon, Aubameyang, which he has just moved as well to Real Madrid in the summer, Timo Werner and Callum Wilson. I think my main target out of these players is between Wilson and Musa Kunate, because looking at them in previous career mods I've done, like personal career mods, Kunate, I bought him in one of my career mods when I was at Liverpool, second season, scored me 10 goals in the Premier League off the bench. He was 23 years old, so he looks alright. Now the two right wingers I'm looking at are just in case, it's sort of like a fallback option, just in case I need to fall back on anybody. Fares Bahuli, probably butchered that name, but he's just a cam I'm looking at, just maybe play if I change the formation. So I don't really think I'll be going down his line. I think I'll be sticking to the formation that Derby are playing at the moment, and they are all my targets. So I have inquired for the majority of them. The ones I haven't inquired for, I will inquire for after this episode. Well, after I've got offers back from the other teams. We are going to sim again the game against Derby. I'm Derby. We are going to sim the game against Brighton to quickly, to have more time to spend on transfers and for more business to get done. 25 minutes in, 0-0. So I'm hoping we can maybe win this 2-0. But Hamed goes and destroys that hope by scoring. So 70 minutes in, 2-0. Not the start I needed as Brighton manager, as Derby manager, sorry. But I'm hoping that by the time I get some of these players in, I will be able to. So we're not interested. He's just joined. That's a shame. So Iorfa's just moved, like I said, and Bailey's just moved there. So like any things that we get like that, we will be putting bids in. We won't be putting bids in. So we are going to put in a £900,000 bid for Kevin. I'm going to call him because I can't say his last name. We're going to put 1.1 bid in for Sissako, and we're going to put a 1.45 million bid in for Mutaz. So at the moment we do have so Iorfa has just moved off and quite again. Iorfa has just moved, and Stark has just moved, and Bailey has just moved. So we won't be looking at them in this transfer window. I will put pre-contract offer in for Yassi Zaides. He'll be a squad rotation player with Ozaminins. I might try, if I do get someone like, who was it? Someone like Yassi Zaides. If he was to come in, I might push him up front, because I like him up front. I like using him up front because of his strength and his pace. I think he's better up front than he is on the wing. So 3.1 million is a lot to pay, so I'll put 2.5 in, because his contract is up at the end of the year. Liam Moore won't be joining. 1.7, yeah, I didn't mean to do that one. But we will offer 1.4. I do understand they have 87 million, but I'd like to keep as much money as possible for other transfers we can go for. So my first game will be Sheffield Wednesday. Right, so I'm not going to put another offer in for Kevin because I don't think he's the sort of player I want. I do have Ince, and I do have other players to fall back on, like Redmond. I think Redmond's going to be my main target now for that right midfield spot, because he's one of the best players that I do have in that position. So Liam Moore won't be joining. I need to put in inquiries for these players now. This is something I wouldn't recommend that you guys do. I wouldn't inquire, because that boosts the price up of the player a lot. I will put a loan deal in for Sisto and Niang. I put in a 1 year loan offer for Sisto and a 2 year loan deal. Well, 2 year loan bid for Niang, because they would be fantastic players to bring in. Niang and Sisto both very young. Niang is a clinical striker when he gets in. So we're going to inquire about a couple of more players. We aren't going for Kevin, so I will remove Kevin from my shortlist. I'm not going to go down this line with Vars, so I am going to remove him. We're going to inquire about Grealish, and we're not going to go down the Timo Werner route, because as you can see, interest shown by United, we probably wouldn't be able to get him. We will inquire about Callum Wilson, and we'll inquire about Jordan Ibe, and I'm gonna take Lingard off my shortlist, because I don't think he's the sort of player that would probably move to Derby. He'd probably want to be one of them arrogant players on FIFA that say your league isn't prestigious enough, blah blah blah. So Zaydes wants a bigger role. I will offer Zaydes what he wants, but I won't give him a squad role. And if he rejects that one now, I'll just go down other routes. So they do want 5 million for him. I will offer 4 million. He will be a massive player to bring in, someone like him or Redmond. Put 4.2 in for Redmond, because he's an absolute brilliant winger. Bruno we're not going to go for. Wilson, did that say 8 million? It's a lot for a player, and I'm not sure he would come back down to the Championship. With Bournemouth being in the Premier League, I don't know if he'd drop down to the Championship. It would be hard to persuade him. We might be able to do it. I will go down the route trying to do it, but it will be hard to do. We just put bid in for Canute and Simon, 2.2 and 3 million respectively. Alves is a player we'll do the exact same as we did with Zaydes. We'll not give him a squad role, because I'm not sure how many games he would play if he was to come in, because he'd be back up. 3.5 for Jordan Ibe is a lot, so we'll put in 2.5. We'll just knock that down by a million, because he is going to be a good player if he was to come in. 2.1 for Jack Grealish, put in 1.8. It would be an absolute steal to get Jack Grealish on a 1.8 for 1.8 million. Trap 2.1 again, we'll put in 1.8. I'm just trying to bargain with them, see if they'll let me. Again, as you can see, they have gone. The Saudi Arabian club have said that we can speak to him about a contract, which is good, because he's a good young, pacey centre back, and I think he would be a perfect replacement in the future, in the next couple of years, for someone like Shackle, who I believe is like 30 something. So Sissoko has accepted. We have had the loan offer for Sisto accepted, which we'll accept now, but I'm going to stall the Sissoko deal for the time being. Just for the time being. We're going to offer Sergei Samper squad rotation, because he might come, he might not. He might say the league's not prestigious, but he is only young, so he might come because he wants the first team experience. So yeah, Bradley Johnson, we'll have to bring Bradley Johnson out of the team, and we'll put in Will Hughes, and we'll put Sisto on the bench. So that is the end of the episode, guys. Don't forget to leave any transfer targets you have down below in the comments. I hope you guys are happy that I have moved to Derby. It's a different step in the career mode. I did want to say I wanted to stay at Blackburn for a few years, but it didn't really work out in the first half of the season, so I thought I'd better move on just before the series gets so the series doesn't get stale. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Peace!